Hello, my name is Dwight Brooks, and I led the team of Ian Cotton, Kent Peverly, and Magda, and she's Egyptian, so it's real hard for me to pronounce her name. Well, there's a piece of farmland that has been set up in a trust for humanitarian purposes, and it housed as many as 35 elderly people, homeless. All but 2 of them have passed away, and they're going to take this farmland and turn it into an orphanage, turn the housing into an orphanage. And there were so many things to do to meet the country's specifications to have an orphanage, and we went to try to bring it as close to that as we could. This was my 4th trip to Zimbabwe, and the dream has been held by the people that I know over there. Getting the right people, and I have to say that between Kent and Ian and Magda, we had a tremendous crew.
Dwight, what was the most meaningful part of this trip for you?
It says, without works, where's your faith? And I really believe that this was a work that incorporated faith. And there's been people praying and really leaning into the Lord about getting this orphanage done. And we got to share in their dream.
What were the challenges in going on your mission trip?
My goodness, the challenges. We got there, and of course, you, Kent, were not feeling very well. So the organization that was there got you right to the hospital, and we go out and look at the orphanage, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, how do we get here and get this done with all this work to do? And we ran into people who wanted to take the money and not give us anything. We ran into challenges as far as supplies go, and we ran into challenges where we were living and transportation and cars breaking down, and just about everything that could go wrong went wrong. And what the fact is that we went 5 days without accomplishing hardly anything. In the last 5 days, we did 10 days worth of work.
Yes.
And that's because of the prayer.
Yeah, I think so too. Mm-hmm.
I'd summarize it up in the fact that they saw a dream coming into fruition, and they took a hold of it because we enabled them to grab a hold of something solid, and they carried on with it. And the difference is in the pictures. Yeah. And their dream is coming about.
Yes. Hi, my name is Kent Peverly.
Kent, how did the Lord use you on this mission trip?
I think He used me best in making use of my skills and talents for the work I've done most of my life, which is in the construction business. I think I learned that prayer is something we really have to rely on when we're facing challenges and difficulties from the enemy, basically, because we certainly had a lot of challenges. I think prayer is part of what got us through that.
Hi, my name is Ian Cotton.
Ian, how did the Lord use you on this mission trip?
I think it was the first time that I really felt like in charge of a group of men doing work and labor. You know, it was kind of fun just getting in there and rolling up my sleeves with a bunch of, just people all trying to accomplish the same thing, and, running a crew of 4 or 5 Zimbabweans, including Zorba, was fun. So.
What was the most meaningful thing about the trip for you?
Seeing the heart of the people there to serve with as little as they had, how much they made do. I mean, our Plumber Elliott, you know, the amount of work that he accomplished in just several days would pale in comparison to what I could do in a week, you know, but just and how faithful he was and diligent.
What one thing impacted your life about going on this trip?
You know, realizing the global impact we can have, that we have such incredible access to all the nations right now, and that, you know, it's crazy to me to think that just 3 months ago I was in Africa building an orphanage for, you know, the generations to come, hopefully. I'd say probably the thing that was that impacted me the most was when we were giving the gifts to to Elvis and Elliot and stuff, and just seeing how much something that we brought as kind of a afterthought that became a gift to them, how much it affected them to receive that gift, because it really meant it had so much more of an impact on their life than, you know, pair of pliers to you and I is nothing, but to them it's a very valuable tool because they're not that plentiful there. So,
Dwight, would you consider leading a team back to Zimbabwe?
Yes, I would. It was the arrangements that were made for us in Zimbabwe by the people there were just tremendous. We had a vehicle, we had a place to stay, didn't cost us a thing except the fuel. And it just made it so nice, and we were treated by friendly people, and everybody appreciated what we did.